I have found one of the lowest priced communities in South Austin, and these prices just do not compare to the rest of the city. You would not find any lower prices anywhere else in the Austin area. Today, I'm gonna take y'all on a tour of what this neighborhood in South Austin, otherwise known as Kyle, what it looks like, what the prices are, what the incentives are as of today's recording, and we're gonna look at a couple homes. Let's get started with the home that I'm standing in right now. I am standing in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. This one is just under 1,400 square feet. At the end of this tour, I am going to reveal how much this home costs and what the incentives are for this specific home. So I'm gonna turn my camera around here and we're actually gonna walk around to the front. So I've actually just taken my client to this house. This is, again, a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home. The first thing I want to point out is, yes, that is a 1-car garage. A lot of these homes in this neighborhood, as you can see, no car garage over here. We have a 2-car garage across the street. And that's why this builder is able to keep these costs so low, is because you do have some sacrifices in terms of not having a garage or having a 1-car garage versus a 2-car garage. But you cannot beat these prices anywhere else this close to Austin. I just want to point that out, especially with the type of finishes you get. So as soon as I walk in, immediately just greeted to this long hallway here. To my left, we're gonna go upstairs here in a little bit. That is the garage. As you can see, a 1-car garage. Now this home does have, I just want to point this out real quick. This home does have a sprinkler system. And not only does it have a sprinkler system or irrigation system, it is on Wi-Fi. So you can control this from your phone. And the reason why this is such a big plus, let me get out of this garage really quick. We're gonna come back to that point, but real quick before I leave the garage, we also have a tankless water heater. And I'm also gonna talk about that, but let me get out the garage so y'all don't hear the echo. So why that Wi-Fi is such a big plus is because you can control that with an app on your phone, and that way you can set up the days and times that you want. But if you're away on vacation or whatever the case is, couple click of the button, boom, you get to control your house from anywhere with a Wi-Fi reception. So let's continue on this tour real quick. So we have the half bathroom here with the private, or with the toilet over there. This is a pretty interesting space for a half bathroom. You know, you don't feel too clogged in. Maybe it's the functionality. I'm a big fan of functionality when it comes to floor plans. And I'm a big fan of coat closets where they make sense. Y'all probably heard my rants before about coat closets just not making sense where they're located. Man, it's been a long day, y'all. Stick with me. But that one makes sense and it functions well with this floor plan. Now, this right here is open to the family room, the living room, mixed with the kitchen. It's just a nice open space. So if y'all been watching me for a while, I'm always gonna point out certain rooms, the pantry being one of them. This pantry makes sense for the size of this house. This house is just under 1,400 square feet. So I'm not expecting this large walk-in pantry. This pantry actually makes sense for the size of this house. If y'all see my recent video about a 3,500 square foot house having a pantry like that, that's where I take issue to that. Now, you do have a lot of cabinet space in this kitchen. As you can see, this kind of just wraps around. I also want to point out with the amount of plugs that you have on that wall. It just wraps around, it just continues to wrap around, and it continues to go on. It seems like forever. So you have this L-shaped type of kitchen here. The other thing I want to point out too is that these are soft close cabinet doors. As you can see, that is a bonus. On top of that, you have stainless steel appliances. On top of that, you have a gas cooktop stove for all my belt busters and chefs to go along with a dishwasher. I also want to point out the rounded corners on the granite countertops versus the pointed corners that typically comes with a home. And this is a brand new home, y'all, 2024, so this is what technology will get you, not just with the rounded countertops. We'll talk about with the tankless water heater, y'all know what I'm talking about. So with the size home too, it is a smaller yard, which means that's less yard for you to take care of, which is always good, right? Because who wants to spend hours outside in the Texas heat cutting their grass? But you do have this square, I want to say, I don't know the size, maybe 4x4, little porch right here. a little concrete step more than it is a porch. So if you are somebody that's gonna be outside a lot, you might wanna look into expanding this porch out and investing some money into this backyard. But if you're somebody like me who likes as minimum maintenance as possible with their yard, this would be perfect for you. If you guys stick with me to the end of the video, I will be revealing who the builder is, and then we're gonna continue on with the rest of the neighborhood. And if y'all are enjoying the video, leave me a comment down below if you like this floor plan, and if you would like to connect, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is down below and also on the screen. So we have made it upstairs. Before we head that way, let's head this way to the first guest bedroom. Let's come back to this room. Let's keep this room a little mystery. So this is the first guest bedroom. Now, compared to my other walkthroughs and my other homes that I've shown, this house is not gonna blow your socks off, right? We are dealing with a smaller home than what I'm typically shooting, just under 1,400 square feet. But this is more appealing to, again, my first time home buyers, my downsizers, people who are looking to stay within budget, single folks. My client that just walked this house really liked this house because it's so simple and the payments are gonna be, man, you can't find payments lower than what this builder's offering in the Austin metropolitan area. Did I say that right? I always get it confused with some Superman lingo, Metropolis. All right, so this secret room right here is the laundry room. Now, before you're up in arms and pitchforks about, well, why is a laundry room just a closet and it's too small? And look, for the size of the home, you have to think about the functionality. And you have to sacrifice some things, and one of those things is a laundry room. Yes, you cannot have the standard single washer, single dryer in here. You have a stackable. But again, if you are a person living on a budget or want to stay within a certain budget and still have access to Austin and also the amenities that you have access to, this is your move. This is your neighborhood. These prices are not gonna last that long. I'm telling you, don't wait. This is the upstairs full bathroom. In this full bathroom, you still get the granite countertops. You still get the toilet. You get the bath and shower combo. Now, unfortunately, you don't get that handsome man in the mirror, but what you do get is a second guest bedroom, which is a little bit bigger than the first guest bedroom. Same type of closet, same size and everything. And we are gonna make our way to the primary bedroom. Primary bedroom looks like this. I just turned the light off. If you're looking at fitting a king size bed in this room, it will shrink the size of this room quite a bit. You could comfortably fit a queen in here. You could probably get away with fitting a king in here. Actually, let me say you could fit a king in here. It just depends on how much more space you want. If you're asking for my opinion, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the layout of this room because you kind of have to pick your poison. You either want, this is a shorter wall than this wall. If you got a king size bed, right, you're gonna have a really tight space on both sides versus if you put it along this wall, which you have more space, but then the foot of your bed is going to be towards the bathroom. So it's gonna take some creativity, really not a whole lot to do what you wanna do with this primary bedroom. But again, when we're talking about the size of this house and the price and the proximity to Austin and the amenities and what's coming, you gotta sacrifice some things. You can't ask for too much, people. All right, this is the primary bathroom. You see, you got your toilet over there and your shower bath combo over there. You do have your sink right here, your granite countertops, and you have a little space over here to have some counter space. And then we have the large walk-in closet over here, but you can easily take this carpet off if you don't like carpet and continue to put the floor down. So if you guys made it to this point in the video, we are now going to reveal the incentives, the builder, and the price of this house. All right, we just wrapped up with our first home tour, and I wanna ask you, the audience, what y'all thought about this house. Do y'all like it? Do y'all dislike it? Why not? Leave me your opinion down below. Before we get into the details about the house, I did bring a client to this house and he actually ended up going with it. And I will reveal why in the second home tour so y'all can see the two differences. He started out as an unrepresented buyer and he actually reached out to my wife because he knows that I am a realtor and he was asking a bunch of real estate questions, to which she sent him to me. And I say that because this gives me an idea of this talking point, that you technically don't need a realtor to buy new construction homes. I'm a realtor and I'm saying that. So I want to be completely honest with y'all. Y'all technically don't need a realtor to buy new construction homes. There is nothing but benefits and pros to working with a realtor on new construction homes. And that's not even being biased. And here's why. My client is a first-time home buyer, okay? He's not even originally from this country, so he doesn't understand the nuances that comes to home ownership, especially here in America. And obviously this is his first home over here, so he doesn't know how the system works. He doesn't know what to do. And although a new construction sales consultant or sales agent will walk you through the process and it's pretty straightforward, they're still not going to completely hold your hand throughout the entire time. You're gonna have to figure some stuff out yourself. That's where I come in, where I can explain the process, explain why it's like that, answer any questions that you might have that you just don't feel comfortable asking the sales agent, because at the end of the day, the sales agent job is to make the most amount of money as possible for their builder. Just like my job at the end of the day is to look out for my client's best interest. Now, with that being said, yes, you could buy a new home construction without an agent. The pro is not only do you get an agent to help guide you through the way, but number two, you don't have to pay for it out of your own pocket. The builder's always going to cover that commission. So you're getting a licensed professional to serve your best interest, help guide you on the way, and you don't even need to pay for it. On top of that, while we were there with the sales agent, I purposely asked questions that I already know the answer to, but I purposely asked those questions so my client gets that information, because most of the time, most people don't know the questions to ask. And that's how we learn more information. And also, as a realtor, that's how I'm able to negotiate against the seller, which is the builder, and get an even better deal, which is what ended up happening on the house that he ultimately chose, which was this floor plan. We're actually going to close towards the end of this month. Got him a good deal, and he was so appreciative, because if he did it by himself, yes, he would have still got the house, but he would have did this alone. He might have had a lot more questions than answers. I had one of my wife's friends a couple years ago that went through the process by themselves with the same builder, by the way, and she was frustrated. She still liked her home, but she was frustrated because she felt like there's a lot of missing information that she didn't know about, because she didn't know to ask those questions, that she didn't have the proper representation on her side. So that's the benefit when it comes to working with a realtor. The builder in question is Lennar. The price of this home is $226,000 as of today's recording. Now, since my client recently just went through this process, I could somewhat explain what that monthly payment is going to be. But you guys also have to understand that depending on the type of buyer you are, whether you're FHA, conventional, VA, or if you're just flat out paying cash, or the majority of it cash, it's going to be different for you. In my client's case, he was using a conventional loan. He's putting about 10% down. This home is supposed to be 3% incentives. We were able to get a 6% incentive approval from the builder, which normally people would not get. But I kept on pushing them to get that incentive for my client. So we got my client 6% in closing cost incentives, which is able to buy his interest rate down to mid to high 4s. Now, as of today's recording, the interest rates on the market is about 7%. The monthly payment on this house would be around $1,600. Again, don't live or die by that number, because that number is going to change depending on what down payment you put down, what your interest rate ultimately lands on, because that is based off of your credit as well, and what type of buyer and what type of loan you're using, and also the loan itself. And also, it's gonna depend on when you actually end up buying the home, because these deals are changing weekly. So if you wait too long, the home is going to increase in value. The builder might start to rescind some of these incentives, because we are at the end of the year. We are in holiday season, so the builder
is offering as much as possible so they can get these homes sold because it's a slower market right now. Now, we are in Maxwell. The next community, it's the same builder, same representative, everything. That one's gonna be in Kyle. In Maxwell, the property taxes are a little bit different than the one in Kyle. The one over here is 1.77%. The HOA fee is about $45. So now we're going back to the second house. We're gonna go boots on the ground right now.
All right, y'all, we are at our second house of the day. Now, same builder, different community. Before we were at Sunset Oaks, this one we're in Waterstone. And just like with a different community, we're gonna have different tax rates and different HOA rates, so it will affect your monthly payment. Just like in the last tour, we're gonna take a look at this home, walk it. I'm gonna point out all the little details that you won't see otherwise. And then we're gonna go over the price and also those incentives and what those additional costs are gonna be being over here versus the other neighborhood. So let me take a couple steps down. So biggest difference with this neighborhood or with this specific house, with this floor plan, is you're still getting a 3-bed, 2.5 bath. Slightly bigger house than the first house that we saw. This one's 1427, 1437, something like that. The biggest difference though, and I'm gonna show y'all, is gonna be that this house does not have a garage. And this house is more pricier on the monthly mortgage payment. And we're gonna get to that in a second. So as soon as we walk in, carpet lovers, leave me a comment down below. I want you guys to put your opinion down below. I want conversations to happen. Do you like this setup with the carpet being in the living room on the first floor, or do you dislike it? Leave me a comment down below. Me personally, it drives me insane when I see this. My house had it. I ripped up the carpet before we even moved in and put laminate flooring in. It's not that hard. It is very time consuming. It can be very frustrating. So talking to the sales rep, when my client and I, when we walked this house, my client also did not like the carpet in the living room, which the sales agent then proposed to us that he'd be willing to include an incentive to basically rip out the carpet and for us to put the LVP down. So the carpet, the builder cannot touch the carpet because what you see is what you get. But the person that I talked to and then that I have a relationship with is willing to at least ask if they're able to include an incentive so that a homeowner could remove the carpet and do it themselves and put the floor in themselves. So when you have a builder like that, when you're building these relationships like that, when you're working with realtors like myself, who's making sure to ask these questions and see if there's any solution, that's when we're able to get more, that's when we're able to negotiate better deals on you, the home buyer's behalf. So I want y'all to keep that in mind while watching the rest of this video too. So this kitchen, just like the last one, you do have a lot of counter space. It does, for some reason, it's the same size kitchen, but the other one felt slightly bigger for some reason. But it does seem like it's the same size kitchen. This one also has the soft close drawers, also has a gas stove, also has a stainless steel fridge, and we're gonna get to the washer and dryer in a minute. Biggest difference is that this floor plan has the flexible sink, and the other one was more of that stationary one. So we got the pantry here. Now this pantry does pretty much fall in line with the size of this home, right? I'm not expecting this large, again, I'm not expecting a large walk-in pantry for this size of home, but it does have a pantry, that's all that matters. Now, the difference between this one and the last one is that the laundry room is on the first floor, and also you actually have a laundry room. Instead of having a stackable, you got both the washer and dryer, which, as you see, comes with the house. Again, builders usually don't offer this package, right? The fact that they're offering a washer, dryer, and a stainless steel fridge, which you're not cheaping on out, by the way. That's not a cheap fridge. Just like these might be a little bit more standard washers and dryers, maybe on the cheaper side, but that fridge is definitely not on the cheaper side. Might be like a $1,500 to $2,000 fridge right there. They're not cheaping out on these type of things. And then of course you get the blinds and all the windows. You actually get more window options in this house than you did the last house. And if you notice in the last house too, the last house was a little bit more skinnier than this one. This one's a little bit more full and fat. a little bit more wider. All right, so just real quick, we're gonna go out to the back. Now, if I'm speaking to my people who don't really care too much about taking care of a lawn, this is low maintenance, very low maintenance. This is all you gotta take care of. And at the same time, you're still having enough space to stretch for the kids to play around in the yard. Now, not having a garage is a knock if you are a garage person like myself, but you do have a 2-car designated parking space, although this is the alley, so meaning that you're not gonna be able, your guests are not gonna be able to park out here. You do have street parking on that side and in the front. And with this specific house, you do have this park right here in the back. Basketball court, you got the little umbrella looking thing over there with some bench seating, and you also have a playground for the kids. Now, I'm not gonna be able to pick this up in the camera, so this community is gonna stretch out to that long building way down there. This is gonna be over 2,100 homes total in this community. Just to give you all an idea of how big this community is, we are in phase 1 of 16. So we're just gonna head back inside, look upstairs, and then I'm gonna meet y'all back downstairs for the price and the incentives, because the incentives are different in this neighborhood. And I'm gonna explain why here in a little bit. So we have our half bath downstairs here. Now it's pretty much the same size as the last one. The last one seemed like it was a bit bigger, and it might be a little bit bigger in square footage than the last one because of the way that it was shaped. But regardless, you have your half bathroom, nothing to write home about. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the lack of a coat closet. If you've been watching my videos for a while now, you will know that I am a stickler on what? Coat closets being where they make sense, big laundry rooms, big pantries, and just the functionality of a floor plan. I am a big proponent of a functional floor plan. If you're gonna have a coat closet, it needs to be close to the front door, but this house doesn't have one. So that's one of the many sacrifices that you make on buying an affordable home, at least in this area. So we're just gonna make our way upstairs. Now, as soon as we get to upstairs, we're just gonna jump straight into the first room that we see, and this is the bathroom. All right. Now you got your full tub, you got your toilet, you got your granite countertops with the sink, mirror. That guy does not come with the house. Now this upstairs is, kind of curves around here. Little quirky design. Now remember the last house we had a tankless water heater. This one, our water heater is upstairs. And we're gonna get to the first guest bedroom. Now these bedrooms feels like they're the same size as they were in the last house. You do get a bigger closet in this one. This one, remember when we opened the door in the last one, that's when you basically have this rod is just sticking right there. But this one you actually have a space to walk in. No light though. That's why I had the camera all random. There's no light. I was looking for a light switch in there. So then we're gonna make our way to the second, not that one, second guest bedroom. All right, second guest bedroom, much like the first, same size. This closet has double doors. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. This closet has double doors and a longer clothes rod there. Not exactly walk-in, but not exactly smaller either. It's overlooking the front of the house as well. And then we're gonna cap it off with the primary bedroom. Primary bedroom, this one does feel bigger than the last one. And I actually like the layout of this one much better than I did the last one. And that's because you have multiple options to lay that bed out. Remember the last one, if you had to lay that bed out, it would the foot of the bed would be right in front of the bathroom door. This one, you can lay the bed down this way is pretty much where I'm guessing the bed is gonna be laid out. And you have a nice wall right there, so if you wanted to put a TV, nightstand, whatever you guys do, you have that option. But this closet, remember our last closet, no light in here either. Our last closet did feel a tiny bit bigger than this one, but I think they might be around the same size. I know the other one had its own dedicated space off into the bathroom, and it had its own light. but I think like square footage wise, it does have the same size. So this is gonna be the primary bathroom. Again, you have your granite countertop, and it's a wider counter too, so you get the, hopefully you and the spouse aren't arguing about counter space. Then you have the bath and the shower combo with the toilet and your realtor in the mirror over there. So that's pretty much it for this house. Now we're gonna discuss the price and the incentives of this house, because this neighborhood is different than the previous neighborhood that we were in. Same builder, so they cover both sides of it, but the incentives are different. So if you're watching at this point in the video, thank you for sticking with me. And I promise that the payoff is well worth it, because now we're gonna discuss the price of this house.
All right, y'all, we just walked the second home and we're back in the studio. Let's go over these numbers. So real quick, this floor plan is the most popular floor plan in Waterstone because of the price. Now, as pointed out in the home, this house does not have a garage. It has 2 parking spots instead. And I don't want y'all to think that y'all are not getting the full experience of a homeowner, because we do have to keep one thing in mind, that these are located really close to Austin. I mean, it's about a 30-minute drive depending on traffic. And you are getting a home in the low 200s. Not only that, you're getting interest rates in the 4s at a time where the average interest rate in the market right now is about 7% as of today's recording. So there are sacrifices that you are going to have to make if you want to purchase a home like this. And one of those sacrifices is, do you want a garage or do you not want a garage? You do have the option in the other neighborhood for the garages. And you also have options in this neighborhood if you do want a garage, but you want to spend slightly more money. When people ask, what should I do? I always answer, well, it depends on your real estate goals. What are your goals? Is your goal to live here forever? Because if that's the case, can you see yourself not having a garage pretty much for the rest of the time that you're in this house? Is the goal to sell this house one day and upsize or buy that dream home? Then maybe you can withstand not having a garage for 4, 5, 6 years. Is your goal to rent it out one day? If the goal is to rent it out one day, well, you technically don't need a garage to rent it out, but what type of renter are you going to attract without a garage? These are things to keep in mind when you're buying not just this house, but a house in general, is to ask yourself, what are my real estate goals with this purchase? I will say one thing though, with this specific floor plan, it is, I'm not going to say more challenging to resell a house without a garage, but you're definitely not going to get as much money for a house without a garage versus if you had a similar floor plan with a garage. I mean, the reason should be obvious. More people, garages are useful for numerous amount of reasons. So not having a garage is definitely a con in my eyes, but it keeps the cost as affordable as possible, especially with the proximity to downtown Austin. So, as mentioned in the first house, that first house was sitting at $226,000. This one is slightly cheaper at $223,000 as of today's recording. This house also offers 6% in incentives. What does that mean? That means that your closing costs are essentially going to be covered, and a portion of that is going to buy your rate down, your interest rate. And it comes with the blinds, the fridge, and the washer and dryer, because in most new build communities, they make you choose, right? They make you choose. They say, hey, you got to choose 2 things. You either want the washer dryer or you want the blinds and fridge. Which one do you want? You can't have it all. In this one, you have it all. The property taxes in Kyle in this neighborhood is 2.7%. So using my client's numbers, remember, he was at $1,600 at that first house. Over here, he's at $1,900 because of those property taxes. It's a big jump, $300 jump, even though the house is $3,000 less. And that's solely due to the property taxes. You might be wondering, well, why would I buy a house for only $3,000 less of a sticker price without a garage if I could just go 5 minutes up the road, buy a house over there, save myself about $300 more a month? I'll answer that question. If you're a buyer that values the neighborhood amenities, over here is going to be the better decision for you versus the other neighborhood, and here's why. In the other neighborhood, you're not getting that much amenities. You're getting playgrounds, that's about it. That's why the HOA is $45 over there. The amenities that you get over here, you get a pickleball court, fitness center, a pool, dog walks, playgrounds. They're even bringing an elementary school over here. And there might even be bringing more amenities that I can't even think about right now. Clubhouse is gonna be over here. So if you value amenities, that's where the value comes in over here. Now, if you're somebody that wants to just pay as least money as possible per month and you don't care about the amenities, just like my client doesn't care about the amenities, he knows he's not gonna use them. That's why he placed more value on the other community, and that's why he decided to buy that house versus this one over here. We looked at 2 homes today in 2 different cities, even though those cities are about 5 minutes apart. Same builder, similar incentives, similar prices, but completely different property rates are gonna throw those monthly payments off. I want more conversations with y'all. I want y'all to give me feedback. I want y'all to let me know if you enjoy these types of videos, if you find value in them, if you think there could be any improvements made, or if you want me to look at any part of the city in Austin, let me know down below. If you are looking to buy a home, reach out to me. I'll leave my contact information down below and also on the screen. Reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. I'm just asking for about 15, 20 minutes of your time. And if you decide after that conversation that home ownership is for you, well, then we can go over the next steps of what that will look like. That's what this channel is all about, is helping you connect you to your dream home, to your first home, to your upsize, downsize, whatever your goal is, we got you covered. I just made a video not too long ago about what I believe the 2025 market is going to look like for a buyer and why it might be a really good opportunity to buy in 2025. I'll leave that video down below. I'll link it somewhere up top over here. So go ahead and click that, check that out. I also made a video about the strategically located neighborhood in Austin. It is close to a lot of big employers, close to the Austin airport, Tesla, Samsung, in downtown Austin. There's a crazy price range in that neighborhood. I will link that also up there in the corner, or I'll leave that link down below. Check out those videos, check out the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing. Also, provide me feedback. I want y'all's opinions down below in the comments. I appreciate you watching. My name is Dawson Brewer, your boots on the ground and favorite realtor in Austin, Texas. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.